So I did a video yesterday and posted it on replacing my garage door bottom weather strip. And I have the channel on mine is not T-shaped, it's round. So that's the new strip, and I went through all the details yesterday. But when I put this one in yesterday, the new one, with the help of my wife, I was able to slide it all the way down. I'm on number 2 today, and I got 2 issues, and I'm gonna film what I'm doing here, a little trick I learned from doing this one. I didn't get so lucky on this one, so.
Go. Stop. Go.
Did it come out? Did it?
Almost did.
It comes out of that track. We are screwed,
Okay.
glued, and tattooed.
All right. Go.
Got it?
Go. Go. Go.
Ah, came out. Fuck.
Whoops.
So we need to pull it back out.
I talked yesterday about this bead inside this outside track on both ends that keeps the channel, or keeps the keeps the new seal from sliding in. So I ground it out. I showed yesterday how I got my grinder and ground it out. But if this channel here isn't tight enough at the bottom, when you go to slide your new piece in, it's going to pull out. You know, you get down a couple of feet and then it pulls out here, and then you're screwed. You got to pull it back out to get it in. So I took an extension, just a piece of flat stock, and hit this. I hit on the bottom of this on the corner, and I got this pinched. So when I tried to put the new one in, it kept pulling out at the end here. I get down a couple feet and it was coming loose. This outside track is the problem child because it's got this stupid bead in here. So I ground it, can't really see it, but inside there is still some evidence of that bead that's catching right there. So I took a piece of my old door seal as my test piece. So you got to test 2 things. I just cut a piece of the old door seal off, and it's got to slide. You know, you just take this and make sure it slides freely, and then take it to the end and make sure it doesn't pull out this way. You know, if it pulls out, if the corner here isn't together, when you start pulling it, it's just going to pop out, and then you're not going to get it back in. So I got this, like I said, I pounded up on it with just anything flat. I just used a socket extension, and I put it right on the end here, and then hit up, gave it a couple good whacks with the hammer until I got the bottom of the channel closed, but still had the top open. Now that little bead, I didn't quite get it enough, so I'm going back in there with my grinder, and I'm going to grind that bead down. See, this stops about a 1/4 inch from the end, so I can't get it on. I don't know how I got this in here. Oh, I had this in here before I started closing this down, so it slid easy before, and then I hit up on it with this extension, and now it's loose in here, but I can't get it out anymore. It stops a 1/4 inch from the end, and that bead that I showed in my video yesterday. Well, I don't know what it's for, but part of the manufacturing process, all the outside tracks on both ends have this little bead sticking out. And you can't really see this one because I ground it down, but there's still evidence. There's still evidence of it there. So I'm gonna go back in and grind it again. Yeah, the moral of this story is don't put your grinder away until you're sure your seal goes in. So I got this almost all the way out. I mean, there's like a 10,000th, still a 10,000th lip in there. And you don't want to grind away this distance at the bottom. So I'm going to angle my grinder and just try to get in. The bead is on this side of the outside track, and it's a lip big enough that it's causing that seal to grab it. So follow your safety practices if you use a grinder. I've got my Z87 safety glasses on. So, see if I can get in there on it. On an angle. Still catching. All right, that's flush. There it is. So that needs to pass all the way to the end, and then it needs to not pull out. So I'm pulling down on it, and if this side pulls out, the thing's not gonna go. All right, so now I have my test piece. Slides freely all the way to the end. And when I pull down on it, the ends aren't pulling out. So to avoid a lot of frustration, I would recommend doing this test piece, because this has really slowed me down messing with this thing. Messing with that little bump that was in there. All right, so I'm gonna start this, get it as far as I can by myself, and then my wife's gonna help me feed it in. So that outside track is the problem. And this thing needs to slide in. Nice and easy.
Wait. Okay. Okay.
All right, so I'm gonna go a little slower.
Okay.
Good?
Yep.
Good?
Yep. Slow and steady wins the race.
Yes.
So my
I'm
dad.
just putting just even pressure. I'm holding both sides of the seal. And the key is if it stops, drags, then you need to check the other end to make sure it's feeding into that track smooth. All right, about 3 more feet. Good. Good?
Yep.
Good?
Yep. Yep.
Good.
Yep.
3 more inches. All right, stop.
Can I let it go or is it gonna mess up?
Let it go. Let it go. All right, let me check. Okay, I have like 2 inches to go. Still good there?
Mm-hmm.
All right, that's. I want to go another 1/2 inch. All right, there it is. Perfect. Praise God. Thank you, Mayor.
You're welcome.
There it is. It's in. Yeah, it's not easy, but I don't know whether it's just this round channel or whether the T channel is any different, but you know, that's the trick. You need to make sure it stays in the track at this end, whichever end you're feeding from. It cannot come out of, if it comes out of the track here, you're screwed. And do the test, like I said, my test piece, you do it both ends, adjust, you know, make sure that test piece slides the last couple inches of each end, and then you're good. So I ran it all the way down to right up against the track, so that when it gets down to the bottom, it seals, keeps some ice out. So yeah, this one, second door was harder than the first door, but we're done. That's a tip I thought I'd share. Let's keep moving forward in a good way.